I recently read The Millionaire Next Door, The Surprising Secrets of America's Wealthy by Thomas Stanley and William Danko. Stanley and Danko conducted the most comprehensive study ever on wealthy Americans and discovered that the prevailing assumptions about millionaires are just plain wrong. Most Americans with over $1 million in net worth rarely purchase fancy cars or homes. The typical millionaire lives in a neighborhood where they are outnumbered by non-millionaires 3-1. And half of all millionaires live in the same house for at least 20 years. Most Americans with over $1 million in net worth live way below their means. The median net worth of a millionaire is $3.1 million, with an annual household income of $250,000. But they spend like someone who makes only $85,000 a year. These numbers are all inflation adjusted for 2023. And lastly, most Americans with over $1 million in net worth are not privileged people who inherited money. 50% of millionaires didn't inherit a cent from their parents. They were self-made and self-employed. Let's dive a bit deeper into these 3 surprising findings and discover specific steps we can take to become unassuming millionaires. First, most millionaires don't care about looking rich. You've probably passed several millionaires on the road this week and didn't realize it. More than 1/3 of millionaires buy used vehicles, and more than half drive a vehicle that is more than 2 years old. And the average price they pay for a vehicle is just $4,000 more than the average American. In fact, when you see a luxury car or SUV on the road, it's probably not being driven by a millionaire. The authors found that, quote, many people who live in expensive homes and drive luxury cars do not actually have much wealth. Just as people act confident when they're insecure, people look rich when they have very little in the bank or invested in appreciating assets. The truly rich people, the people with money in the bank, know that the thrill of buying a luxury car, a suit, a watch, or any other high-status artifact lasts about a month. But the pride of buying assets that increase their financial independence lasts a lifetime. The authors define financial independence as a point at which you accumulate enough wealth that you can live without working for at least 10 or more years. That's why some wealthy people call their savings the go-to-hell fund. Start building your go-to-hell fund by refusing to pay an extra $20,000 for a new car, and invest that $20,000 in an asset that appreciates over time. Instead of buying a home in the nicest neighborhood you can afford, buy a house in a neighborhood where you make at least twice as much as your neighbors. When you know you make more than your neighbors, you feel financially secure and less pressure to buy expensive things just because your neighbors do. The authors say, it's easier to accumulate wealth if you don't live in a high-status neighborhood. Side note, the average American millionaire in 2023 owns a house valued at $630,000, despite being able to afford a home worth more than $2 million. Whenever you're tempted to buy nice things to keep up with your friends and neighbors, just recall the words of one millionaire doctor in the book. I'm not impressed with what you own. I'm impressed with what you achieve. Forget accumulating nice things and focus on your craft. The next surprising finding from Stanley and Danko's studies is that most millionaires live well below their means. Many people in America earn an annual income that should put them on the fast track to becoming a millionaire, but never get there because they don't defend the money they make. Stanley and Danko say, millionaires play both quality offense and quality defense. They're good at generating money and good at protecting their money. And quite often, their greatest defense helps them outscore and out-accumulate those who out-earn and have superior offenses. The foundation stone of wealth accumulation is defense, and this defense should be anchored by budgeting and planning. Here's a rule of thumb to know if you need to play more financial defense. Multiply your age by your pre-tax annual household income, then divide it by 10. If your net worth is not above this number, you need to start saving 15% of your monthly income and live off the rest. Nearly every millionaire in Stanley and Danko's study saved a minimum of 15% of their annual income. If 15% seems impossible, upload your credit and debit card spending into a budgeting app that breaks out your discretionary spending, and you'll quickly see opportunities to spend less while maintaining your quality of life. My wife and I did this and found that we were spending too much money dining out at mediocre restaurants. If we cooked at home more often and only ate out twice a month but at restaurants we loved, we would get more joy looking forward to those experiences and be healthier. Whatever area of discretionary spending that you see as an opportunity for saving money, make a budget for it and stick to it. This might include budgets for eating out, entertainment, travel, hobbies, gadgets, home decor, and anything else beyond your basic needs. One major difference between the wealthy and non-wealthy is that wealthy families spend twice as much time analyzing and planning their spending than non-wealthy people. Review your spending at least 1 hour each month to continually find ways to save at least 15% of your annual income. Then as you earn more, keep your spending the same. That way your savings rate will gradually go up from 15 to 20% and achieve the same savings rate as the average millionaire in the wealth study. Now, the third surprising finding of Stanley and Danko's study of wealthy Americans is that most millionaires are self-made and self-employed. The authors found that self-employed people make up less than 20% of the workers in America, but account for 2/3 of the millionaires. 3 to 4 self-employed millionaires consider themselves to be entrepreneurs, and most others are self-employed professionals, such as doctors and accountants. Being self-employed requires hard work, persistence, diligent planning, and incredible self-discipline, all of which happen to be the 4 most common traits of self-made millionaires. The authors say that much of a self-employed millionaire's success depends on living a frugal existence while building their business, which becomes a lifelong way of thinking. When the authors looked at the types of businesses that self-employed millionaires start, they found that most could be classified as dull, something that few people at a cocktail party would be interested in talking about. And that turned out to be a huge advantage. Because dull businesses, like a paving contracting service or a pest controller service, don't attract a great deal of competition, and their demand stays elevated during downturns and recessions. One other common characteristic of self-employed millionaires is that they find opportunities to serve other wealthy people in one of 3 ways. First, they create service companies for expensive products. They might have a high-end home medical equipment repair service. Second, they create professional practices that help people manage their wealth. For example, accountants who specialize in estate tax, or lawyers who specialize in private investment contracts. Think of a specialized professional like a doctor deciding to become a hand surgeon instead of a general practitioner. And third, they find products that wealthy people will pay a premium for, and then they simplify them. For example, a coffee bean roasting business that sells high-end coffee in small batches to an exclusive membership. Start charting your path to becoming a self-employed millionaire by pondering 3 questions. What specialty service can I offer to high net worth people? What are wealthy people struggling with and would happily pay me to fix? And what products are wealthy people buying that I could simplify and sell? In the end, the secret to becoming and staying a millionaire lies in not seeking to look rich, living on far less than you make, and striving to stay self-employed, which will ensure you work hard, persist, plan, and practice self-discipline. All traits of self-made millionaires in America. That was the core message that I gathered from The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley and William Danko. This book is packed with surprising findings that made me rethink what it means to be wealthy. I highly recommend this book. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'll be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.